Hey Sino Gang, let's talk study techniques. I need to get some chapstick. Because that intro, go ahead, rewind back, you'll see. Lips not looking so good. Anyway, hi Sino Gang. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I am Reese, the Sino Mom. I'm a first year cardiovascular ultrasound student, but I do talk about general, vascular, echo, of course, all those things. But today, I am deciding to focus on study techniques. That has been one of the biggest struggles transitioning from regular college courses to the ultrasound program. So I'll just talk about, what I did, what I do now. Sorry. And what other people have done that are also getting A's or doing really well in their classes. So before, I was the type of student where I was very humble, but if you gave me a packet to read, I would read through it a few times, study it in my head, and most likely I would do really well on the test. And that was for like A&P 1 and 2, pathophysiology, that kind of thing. Excuse me. So when I started my first vascular class, we were getting things like this. Okay, can you guys see? Did I just tear it up? Whatever. Y'all are worth it. But anyway, we would get PowerPoints like this, and this is 4 per page. And these PowerPoints are like over 150 slides a piece, okay? And that's per lecture. Like per lecture. It's 150 slides. Can you see that? So this is not a good angle for you guys. Anyway, you guys get the point. So whatever we're learning, we would do 2 lectures per quiz. Each lecture had over 150 slides worth of stuff, but each quiz was only 25 questions. So there's no study guides. I don't know what your instructor will be doing, but mine didn't give any study guides. We don't get study guides. So we're forced to just learn this stuff, know the stuff, remember the stuff, and retain it, because memorizing is not going to work, because each quiz will build on each other, and then the midterm, it consists of what you learn from the beginning to the end. Anyway, enough blabber blabber about that. As you guys can see, if you check out my channel, I almost failed my first vascular quiz. I was 2 questions away from failing, and I am not an F student at all. And that was just from thinking that I could read through and do well like I usually do. Wrong. So what I started doing was getting note cards. And I know that that sounds cliche, you guys, but not just any old note cards. Like, you have to get note cards. And with each PowerPoint, you write questions, like these kind of note cards. And I like to get them in color, because after a while, if they're all white, I start to mix things up. It's just, it doesn't have to be in any specific order. I just like the change in color. It kind of helps my brain to stay focused. You can do one color if you like. I definitely like to do different colors. It keeps my brain busy. But I will use what I read from each slide. So I'll go through each slide, and yes, it's tedious, and then write questions that I think that maybe my instructor would ask. For example, most common cause of acute arterial occlusion disease. Occlusive disease. Occlusion disease. And that's arterial embolus. And that's something straight from the PowerPoint. It says, like, most common cause of acute arterial occlusive disease is an embolus and blah, 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 blah. But then I just write it out as a question. List the arteries in the aortoiliac inflow system. And don't mind my writing. After a while, when you're doing so many of them, your fingers start to hurt, but you write the answer on the back. And I mean every slide. Go through each slide. Most of the time, things that are bolded are very important, but you'll want to look in the little details and remember those as well. that has helped me significantly. I'm telling you, like, even though I have stacks like this big worth of note cards, I just really think that it helps. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was looking at people like, no, I'm not a note card taker. I'm not doing it. Do it on one test, and I promise you guys, you will not fail. Just keep going through those cards after you make them, one at a time. Make a known and unknown pile. Beautiful. The amount of things I remember and retain, not just remember, but retain, is amazing. I know some other students that also rewrite the whole PowerPoint. Now that, I can't get into that. I can't. But not only does she rewrite the PowerPoint, she gets a notebook and she gets different colored pens. Blues are for like anatomy. Pink is for facts. Blue is for little details. You know, orange is for whatever. You know, you organize it in that way so that when you write it, you're switching pens and you remember that, oh, I wrote that in pink and I wrote that in blue. And she writes it down. And when I say she hasn't gotten anything less than an A, I mean it. Not even a B. Just an A, maybe a low A, but an A. Nothing less than that as far as paper exams. So I'm impressed. I don't think I have the time to do that. I don't have the patience. Well, that's what I said before with these note cards, but give it a try. Try to remember things that your professor does when they're listening, when they're talking to you. Like my professor, when she was explaining stenosis in the arteries and how the pressure works and how velocity works, she said, when there's a stenosis, there's little people running around. It's like they're running super, super fast through a closed space trying to get out. You know, and like on the exam, I remember her running around the classroom talking about stenosis. And so that helped me out. It's just like paying attention doesn't always mean you have to pay attention to the words coming out of their mouth, because sometimes just like blah, 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 you know, like maybe just blank me out doing that, but you're going to remember me doing this, right? My hand motions. So just remember little things attached to stuff, and you'll be surprised how much you remember, even in a 3-hour lecture where you're like, you know, you're just drifted off everywhere. But yeah, so try those two things. They're tedious, yes. Do you want A's? Yes. So find the time to do that. And I suggest not doing it all in one sitting. Give yourself time, even if you have to do 25 note cards per day or like twice a day or something like that. Break it up, study that little bit, and then get back into it. That's all I got. That's really all I have, because I feel like studying is just more about time management and not just sitting there and reading the work, because not getting anything from it. Sorry, somebody called me. I meet up with my classmates before exams. We meet up after clinical. We meet up if there's a gap in between classes, and we study. We all hold each other accountable for having note cards, and sometimes somebody has a note card that we didn't have, or a question that we didn't know because we didn't think it was important. And, you know, bouncing ideas off of each other. I'm telling you, once you study by yourself, get with a group. Don't get with a group before you study, because then you think you won't know anything. You'll get frustrated and exhausted and over it. But anyway, if you guys have any requests, I'm so sorry. I've been gone. It's just been a crazy week. Midterm week between 2 classes. We have comps, we have scans, we have all that. But I love you guys. You guys are definitely worth my time. So just let me know if you have any questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I also want to say I am a student. So sometimes there are things that I don't know, or that I may say, you know, I'm not sure, but I'll look it up for you, and I will. I will ask my instructors and people who have more experience than me. That's pretty much it. So yeah. All right, Sound Gang, have a great day. If you're going to apply, you're going to get in. If you're in the program, you're going to graduate. And if you are about to take your boards, you're going to pass and you're going to get a job, okay? So keep your head up. Again, I'm sorry about this lag. I missed last week. Love you, Sound Gang. Bye.